Hello, people. Hello, viewers. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hello. Anybody there? Hi. Hello, YouTube. Hello. Let me call some people here. Let me call some people here. Let me call one person. One person has joined me. Thank you for joining. I'm going to call some people here. In a little bit. Welcome to Charities Bubble USA. Today we have to talk about stuff. Guys, 5 people watching. Trying to call some people here. You know, this is the first day to come on in at this time. So I need to remind some people when I am live now. Guys, this is Charities Bubble USA, your #1 channel. I'm going to acknowledge some people here in a little bit. Today, I'll give it 5 minutes. That way, we see if you'll find people. I see some people are coming in. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I am here at this time. Type for me there and tell me what time it is. 5 people have come in. We're going to give it 5 minutes. Trying to call some people here. I'm typing here on my phone so that people can come on. Hello there. I can see that some people are coming. Tell me what time it is, wherever you are. Tell me the time kindly. You guys are awesome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me this morning. It's a few minutes for us to be noon. It's just a few minutes. We are just coming in. 1945 Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you for that. Thank you for telling me that time. I am here. We said we are going to change time so that we come on when people have reached home and they are not in the mat going home, so that we can reach everybody. We want to reach everybody. I hope that you are starting by giving this video a thumbs up. Yep. 3 minutes 30 seconds. October 25, 2021. Live here in the US. Charity Nganga. Oh my gosh, that's my light that wants to fall down. 16:57 in Ghana. Thank you. 7:45 p.m. in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you. Thank you for that. We have 1 more minute. And I will answer some questions. So if you have a question there, kindly type it for me. I'm going to talk about it. I'm trying to adjust my camera there. Guys, you are awesome. I see some people are coming on. I'm going to acknowledge some people here in a little bit. This is Charities Bubble USA, your #1 channel. This is our first time to log in at 11:45 p.m. a.m. my time, so that I can reach more people. And if you haven't joined the WhatsApp group, I know the first one is full and we started another one. I'll put the link here in a little bit. All right, 5 minutes. Hello, guys. I hope you're doing fine. This is Charities Baba USA, your #1 channel. Live here in the USA, Wichita, Kansas is where I live. So Grace Werimo, how are you doing? Hello, Charity. That is my #1 fan. Thank you for joining me there. Mary, hi friend. Thank you for joining me this morning. I see 9 people are watching. Emily Sawe, hello Charity. Thank you for joining me. Kara Mudhoni, hi Charity. Good to see you tuned in from Nairobi. Thank you there, Grace Warimo. Feel appreciated, Charity. You're doing a great work. Thank you for that, Grace. Pauline Mungai, it's 1945 here in Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you for joining. Yasir Mohammed is watching me live from Ghana. It is 16:57. Thank you for that. Amasi, we love you from 254. Thank you for that. Karen in Kirota is watching me from Saudi Arabia. Thank you, Yasir Muhammad. Wash hands. Thank you. Winfred Main. Hi, Charity. Thank you for joining. I'll answer that question here in a little bit. Ruben Karaoke tuned in. So, guys, you guys are awesome. 10 people have come in. I need you to share this video. Give it a thumbs up. Share with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly consider subscribing. So, let me start with the question that has been asked here. Amadeo Filipe, hi Charity, good to see you here in Angola. Thank you. Lawrence Mopeli is watching me from South Africa. Thank you guys for joining me in this live session. We have changed time so that we can be able to reach more people, because I realized that most people were telling me I'm on my way home, I'm going to save mine, I'm going to watch it later. And I like to see people live. Look at that thumbs up. Oh, thank you that for that, Yasir Muhammad. So I decided that I will change my time to be 11:45 so that I am able to reach people. Now, hi Charity. Winfred Main is asking, thanks for your good work. If I get a cruise ship job, can a family get a visa too? Now, what happens with these visas is that when you apply for a work visa, you apply for a student visa, you find that that one is C1D. So there is C1D2. If it is a student, there is F1 and there is F1 too. So you can always go back to the embassy and ask them if about the visa that you can apply for your spouse. Because normally you find that, let's assume like you have gotten a job, or maybe you have gotten a student visa. You find that if you go back, you can get your spouse and your kids can get the same visa, but it will be 2. So if it's C1D, C1D2. If it's F1, F1 So you find that you are coming as a student to study, but your spouse does not have restrictions. So you find that you can help each other. So what you need to do is to go to that website and look at the twin visa with the main one that you're going with, because those visas are there. And I think I can talk about that maybe in another session and expound it more so that you understand better, but it's there. If you're coming to work, there's always that visa that you can go back and inquire in the embassy and apply for your family. So that's a very, very, very good question there. Now, I'm going to look at my YouTube. I'm going to start with YouTube today and see what people are asking me. Let's see. So, hello, I want to ask a question. Can you sponsor yourself if you win the DV lottery? If yes, you can explain, please. Now, the DV lottery, what I said that what you get for free is just the application. And when you get your visa, you get it for free. When you get your green card, when you go to check, it's free. But from there, when you start filling, if you had applied as a family, you find that if your family did not have passports, you have to go and pay and get them passports because they will be needed. Of course, you have to, when you fill out your DS-260, you will have to send it. You'll submit it, and there's some that you have to send to KCC. You find that you will still use money to send that mail. Another thing, when you go for your medicals, When you go for your medicals, you have to pay for it. When you go for your interview, you have to pay for the visa interview. And there was a person who was asking about how to pay for the visa interview. Normally, you pay money by cash. You go in the morning, on the day of your interview, the first place that you will go is to pay. And that money is non-refundable, whether you get your visa or you do not get your visa. Because winning a green card is not a guarantee that you will get a visa. You have to follow their guidelines very well. And I said, when you are filling out your DS-260 or any other form, even your first application, guys, do not leave it blank. Don't leave it blank. Do not leave it blank. I need you to fill out everything. If there is, if it gives you an option of maybe it's not there, or you don't know, or you don't know, or you do not have it, then you click on that. Or if it doesn't have an option and you do not know it, you'd rather write NA, N/A, not applicable. But do not leave any space blank, because those blank spaces are the ones that get people disqualified, because they expect you to answer. So if you do not have a specific answer, just write NA to avoid leaving your form blank. Now, there's another question here. Do we pay any charges for the kids during the interview? Yes, you do. You normally do pay for the interview for the kids, because, and actually even the medical, even the passport. Of course, you have to get a passport, even if it's a 1-day-old baby. You have to. And I said, if you have a baby in that process, after you have applied, you can always request them to add, because that is a change of status. But even if it's a 1-day-old baby, you will have to pay the same amount that for an adult for your visa. You have to pay. Like I told you guys, when we went to the American embassy, we had 2 kids, and we paid our money and we paid for their money, and it was the same. The amount is the same. So it doesn't matter whether it's a kid or it's an adult. They pay the same. The only thing that the kids do not have to whatever is the kids are not interviewed. They do not interview babies, but that does not mean that you will not pay for that money. Another thing is that after you have gotten your visa, when you are you of course you'll pay the USCIS fees, and you find that every child gets a green card. Every child gets a green card. So you still have to pay that amount of, although it's gonna be collective, you have to pay for everybody so that everybody can get a green card. And then still, when you go to the plane, you have to pay fare. If it's a little baby, you find that you cannot carry your baby like by holding them. That child, of course, they will require you to have a car seat so that you can put it on the seat of the plane, and then you strap your baby there. So you still have to pay for that seat. So they do pay for the interview. So they are charged. Okay, what is the current update for DV 2022 winners? Interview progress at the various embassies. Like I said, the DV 2022, those people started getting their second notification letters in October. We just started October. And I said that you don't be impatient, and it depends with your case number. So what I said is that the lower your number from 55,000, the higher your chances of being called faster. But it will take a whole year from this October up to 30th of September, when their year ends, for those notifications to be sent for you guys to go to the embassy. So I hope that I have answered that one. Do they interview kids also? No, like I said, Emily, they do not interview kids. Kids are not interviewed. When, like I said, when we went for our interview, our kids just went. There's a play area there where the kids just go to play, and that's where they will be. So the people who are interviewed are the adults. So your kids are not going to be interviewed by anybody. We were worried. We were thinking maybe they are going to interview kids, but those are minors. Those are minors. And like I told you guys, here in the US, because they follow the US laws, here in the US, you find that kids are treated very differently. Oh my goodness, they're treated very, very, very differently. And if a person is a minor, it is a minor, and they cannot be interviewed. So they don't get interviewed. So Ruben Karaoke is asking, what if your spouse fails the interview? So I'm not sure what type of visa that you are asking, But the DV lottery visa, normally what happens when you're going for your interview, both of you are interviewed at the same time. Both of you are interviewed at the same time. You go there to the counter, the main applicant and the spouse, and then you are asked questions. Now, the one that you might be interviewed separately is the marriage visa. That one is very different. And even the other visas, even the student, all the other ones, those are different. So you get interviewed separately if the consular suspects that you are lying. That is in a marriage interview. If they suspect that you are lying, they will interview you separately. And that is why I said, if you have married someone, a US citizen or an legal permanent resident, the best way to have it is a real marriage, because when you have a real marriage, at least you know that person very well. You know that person, what they like. You know their behaviors, because you can be asked anything. Because if the consular suspects that you have married that person because you want to get those papers, you want to get documents, they will do everything to make sure that you are telling the truth. Beyond reasonable doubt, they will do everything to make sure that you're telling the truth. So that one is different. And that is why you find that those marriage interviews, if the consular has suspected that you are not telling the truth, and you go and give different stories, because they can ask you anything. They can ask you anything from bank accounts, from family members, even the names of anything. They can ask you anything. They can even ask you if you have, they will even ask for photos. They will ask, maybe they will ask where you met. Where did you meet on the first day? So of course, if you give separate answers, they will know that you're lying. And normally what happens is that for the marriage visa, if you fail the first time, you're never gonna get it. You are never gonna get it. You will never get it. So that one you have to be very careful. But for the DV lottery, both of you are interviewed at the same time. Now, I have included my spouse in the application, and he's not willing to relocate to the US. Or is it applicable to go together for the interview? Now, if your spouse does not want to go to the US, it's fine. Nobody is going to force them to go to the US, because if they don't want, they do not want. So it's like, let's assume like maybe you have even filled out for your 21-year-old. 15 people are watching. Thank you for joining. So if you fill out for your 21 years old and they decided that they do not want whatever, the best thing, because I told you the KCC will be contacting you with your email. What you do is to email them and tell them the wishes of your family member if they do not want to go, and then they advise you accordingly. They advise you accordingly, because they are very prompt in answering those emails. You will email them and they will reply and they will let you know. But they do not, after you win the green card lottery, you are not forced to come to the US. Even the primary applicant, if they do not want to come, it's fine. Nobody is gonna force them to come and live here if they do not want to. So Emily Sawe, thank you for joining. Karo Mudhoni, I'm going to read that question here in a little bit. Eunice Muhaki, thank you for joining. Nor Abanor, thank you for joining. Charlotte Nyantaki, I hope I have pronounced your name properly. Thank you for joining me here. This is Charities Babu USA, your #1 channel. We are answering DV lottery questions. I normally come here to ask your questions. And for those who do not know me, my name is Charity Nganga. And I came here through the DV lottery, and I have gone through the whole process because I can see new faces there. And now I am an American citizen, and I give tips about how you can successfully walk that journey and succeed. Now I talked about that question. That one, he's not willing. Okay, Hero Charity, for example, you for everyone. Yes, you will. Everything from the medical, you pay separate. Visa, you pay separate. And then after you have gotten your visa, when they have stamped your interview, your passport with your visa, normally what happens is that they give you a paper. You get a green paper to show that you have gotten the visa, the migrant visa, and then there are more instructions to tell you the amount to pay. And they just give you a general amount. So that general amount, you just go and pay. You just go and pay that amount. So that one, it doesn't specify. But you find that when you're going for the interview, especially for the passports, it specifies that every visa is this amount. So you know, you calculate with the number of family members that you have. And like I said, if you know, sometimes you can have money problems. So when you're filling out your DS-260 and you know that you are not able to travel, all of you are not able to travel, what you do is that you will write on your DS-260 that one person will go first. Of course, the primary applicant should be the first one to enter US. And then you can say, my family members are going to come later, of which is easy, because when you come here, you get a job very fast. You get a job very fast. And I hope you guys have watched my video about the host, the one just uploaded a few hours ago. Because when you go to your host, they help you to get all your documentation, you will get a job and you will be able to bring your people very, very fast, because you cannot wait for the visa to expire, because they only give you 6 months to be in the US. But like I said, if someone doesn't want to come, it's okay. Nobody is going to force them to come and live in the US if they do not want to. I don't know, that one is whatever. So please, what if you get married after the application? Will they ask for pictures? Now, I've talked about marriage, and I said, like, if you, like, maybe you did the application right now, and maybe you're getting married in December, or you're getting married in January, or in February, or in March, before the results come out, you can add your spouse, but they might ask you for proof. They might, because you see, that is in between. But the worst is, you have found out that you have won the green card, and now you want to add a person. Now that doesn't work. That one does not work, because you are adding a person there that was not there. That one, they can say that it's a marriage of convenience, because you cannot check on May 10th. Maybe you checked on May 10th, and then you go and get married on May 11th or May 15th. They will see that you are adding that person. It's a marriage of convenience. You see what I mean? But I said, when you fill out the green card, your life doesn't stop. If you had planned that your wedding was supposed to be in December, you'll still go on with your wedding. If the consular asks for the photos, you'll have them. You know what I mean? If they decide, because you cannot predict. Because here you have put that person, and you had applied, you are unmarried, but now you got married. That is a life change. Or maybe you had a baby. That's a life change. So you'll have to notify them after you won. This is what happened. And then those pictures that you're talking about, that is the supporting documentation. They might decide to ask you for pictures. They might decide to ask you for the marriage certificate. They might decide to ask you questions about your spouse. So you can, but it depends on what they want to ask. It's not specifically the photos. They can ask for anything. Now, kindly give us the estimation of all the expenses that one person may be required to have if you win the green card and the whole process. Now, like I said, ours was 7 years ago, so that is a little bit far. But that estimate of 7 years ago, we started with the passports, because by the time we were doing the application, it was very different. They were not requesting us to have a passport. But right now, the primary applicant must have a passport. Now, let's assume that you have a family of 4. Now, you have to go and get a passports for the 3 people that did not have a passport. That's gonna cost you 18,000, because I believe a passport is roughly like 6,000 shillings. Now, when you go for the medical, I want to see. There was a person who gave an estimate here, and I think I should see what they gave the estimate here. They gave an estimate of how much you will spend. But for us, what we spent for our medical, I think we spent like 60. Was it like 60,000? Yeah, like 50,000, I believe. And then when we went for our interview, we spent 120,000 Kenya shillings. That was for 4 visas. And then the USCIS fees, oh my gosh, I think I've forgotten these things, but the USCIS fees we paid. And then for the plane ticket, we paid like 75,000 each person. So we did our budget after we came to the US to see how much we spent from the time we started applying for the passports and the time we reached US, plus everything. It came to close to 1 million. That is counting even the fare that we used, even everything, because I normally like to write down my stuff. So we were able to track. It didn't reach 1 million, but it was close. So that was 4 people at that time. So can you have an estimate of that? So let's assume if it is one person, have 200,000 Kenya shillings, or depending on the dollar, that is, I'm going to tell you by dollars, have $2,000. So $2,000, if you're in South Africa, convert that. If you're in Angola, convert that. If you're in Tanzania, convert that and see. You convert $2,000 for an individual, and then you see how much that's going to be in your country, because it depends on how much the dollar is selling. It's selling right now. I think right now the dollar is selling to 100 and some shillings on top. So you find that for one person, give every person $2,000. That is that's a good estimate. And then depending on the number of family members that you're having, then you can calculate by that. Now, child charity, if I will not be traveling with my stepkids, will they be needed to be present during the interview? So did you add them? If you had added them, you will have to explain to the consular why you are leaving them behind. You'll have to explain that. So I would, if I were you, after I win the DV lottery and I am filling out the DS-260, I would email Kentucky and ask them, and then they would give me an appropriate answer about that. Because on minors, it's different. They always give you different answers. Now, if I have 2 children and my spouse is expectant and she delivers before I get a visa, that one I said that when you have a baby, that is a life change. You have to report a life change. And when you come and live here in the US, it's the same thing. 25 people are watching. Thank you for watching Charities Babo. I am answering questions about the DV now. Even here in the US, normally what happens is that we have insurance, and we have a lot of stuff that goes on. You have insurance. Sometimes you have to go and fill out some papers in school because for the school to get funding. So you have to give family income. Maybe you have moved from one house to another one. You have to report because that's a life change. So what happens is that if I move from this house and I go to somewhere else, I have to go to the post office and tell them that to hold my letters because my address has changed from this place to another place. Now, if I was having insurance for my children, because children normally get insurance from the state, you find that if I have another baby, what happens is that even before that baby is born, I have to call the insurance that my other kids have and report that I am expecting to have a child. And then when that child is born, I have to report that I have had a life change and I have had a baby. So it's the same thing that you will do so that they will know that, yes, this is a newborn baby. So this family has increased. And so that baby, what will happen is that most of the time when you go for your interview and for your visa, they would want to see a birth certificate because a birth certificate is going to prove that that child is yours. So it doesn't matter whether you get a baby, you will. Now, if you still get a baby after you get your visa, because you can get a baby after you get your visa, what happens is that you will still write to them and then you tell them, I just had a baby and we already had a visa, and they will tell you how to process it. So you will not be forced maybe to leave your child behind or whatever. No, you will not. The only thing that you need to do, your email, you have to be corresponding with them and notifying them your life change. But a life change is not going to happen when, for example, you find out that you have won your green card and you want to put a new spouse there. No. And I said, if we have family members, I hope that everybody who has applied for the DV has included their family members. We said that we are not going to leave our family members behind. All of them are, you'd rather win the green card and fill all your family members and have them there instead of you want to add them, because if you add them, they will deny you the visa. They will deny you the visa. And it will be very sad when you come to live in the US by yourself and you have left your family behind. It's so sad because if you will come here as a permanent resident, you can petition. You can. But you run the risk of the consular realizing that you didn't add your family and they deny you that visa. So I hope. So if a life change happens like that, you just need to report and they just tell you the process whatever. So hi Charity, how about single moms? Is it possible to work double shift? What option will I have with a school going child? Kindly advice. Now when you're single, normally what happens is that you can take your child to daycare. Sometimes you can take them, they're cheap daycares, they're there. And of course when you go to a daycare, especially there are some, and you're a permanent resident at that time, you have all the resources. I told you guys, when you're a permanent resident, you live like a citizen. You're not the only thing that you don't do is voting, but you have all the other resources. So what you do, you can go to the daycare centers, and then they will ask you for your income, and they will ask you for your household, how many people are in the family, and then you get to pay low, because here you pay the amount that you pay in whatever that you're doing. You pay according to your income and according to your household size, how many people are in your family. So you can be able to do that. If your kids are very little and you're single, you have to do daycare. And maybe your host, you can ask them where they are cheap daycares, because they are there. And you find that there are even individual people who have daycares in their homes, but you have to make sure that those people are certified. They have to have a license, that they have, that their house has been checked. It has been checked by the authorities, and it is good. So you can take them there, and it's cheaper. So there is always a way for you to take care of your kids. It's not that bad, guys. It's not that bad. The only bad thing is to leave your kids at home. You cannot leave your children at home alone. You can't do that. If you do that, your children will be taken away, and you do not want your children to be taken away because you left them in the house. You don't want that to happen. So there are many ways. You will have friends. You will go to church. The first thing that you do when you come here, go to a church that you are affiliated to. Introduce yourself. When you introduce yourself, you find that you get to know people. You get to know people. And then when you get to know people, people will have a lot of information. They will want to know. These people have come from they will want to know you. They will want to know about if you need any help. You find that when you come here in the US, normally what happens, everybody that you meet, even us, they will tell you, if you need help, don't hesitate to call. So that means you can ask a question, where can I get a daycare? And you will be all right. You will be okay. You don't have to worry. The thing, when you win your green card, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. Okay. Now, I wanted to ask you, upon winning the DV lottery, when it comes to activating the green card, can it be done outside the US? Now, when you win the green card, normally what happens is that when you pay that money, and you can pay it when you are in your country, or you can pay it when you come here, it goes to the address of your host. It goes to the address of your host. And it's very, very important that you are here so that you can get your green card. It's very, very, very vital that you are here, because it will be sent in an address in US. It is not going to be sent in an address outside there. So the address that they send your green card is gonna be here. And just come, when you win your DV, just come and see how US is. It's good. It's good. And there are so many opportunities here for everybody. Okay. Now, what about you have done their traditional marriage? Are you supposed to have an affidavit from a lawyer? No, you're not supposed to have. What you're supposed to have, and I'm going to give you my own example. I always like giving my own examples. I had been married a traditional marriage. We didn't have a marriage certificate. We had been married and we had kids. We didn't have that. And I told you guys, like, especially in the African culture, you find that before you go to do that white wedding, or to get that marriage certificate, your parents have to be paid the bride price for them to give consent. Now, what we did after we found out that we had won, we just went and legalized our marriage. That's the only thing that we did. And then after we legalized our marriage, that was it. Actually, when we went to the interview, the only thing that lady asked us was like, have you been married to other people? We said no, and that was it. Because we had the marriage certificate. If they would have asked us for evidence, we would have showed them a lot of stuff. We had babies, we had joint bank accounts, there's so much that we had. So don't worry. If you have in a traditional marriage, you'll be fine. You'll be okay. What if my spouse is not willing to relocate? If they're not willing to relocate, I said nobody is going to force them to relocate with you. Okay, if you're going to travel alone and leave your family behind, at what point in the process will I separate them? During the interview, medical, traveling, or as a way to reduce expenses? Now, on your DS-260, you have to state Because there's that question that asks you, are you going to be traveling with your whole family, or are you going to be leaving anybody behind? And you have to write the names of the people who you will be leaving behind, so that even when they receive the DS-260, they know that this person is not able to travel by themselves. Okay? Now, then they can tell you the instructions or the expectations. But after, if you do not want to travel with your family members, know that the visa that you will get will be for 6 months for every member of the family. So after 6 months, you have to bring your family members to the US before the visa expires. So if you are in a come and stay marriage for 10 years, then your spouse walks away before you formalize your marriage, will you indicate unmarried? Married? Do you have a marriage certificate? If you don't have a marriage certificate, just say that you're unmarried. So Charity, let me ask, those who went through a visitor visa and wakacheza kama wao, can they apply? Yes, they can apply a green card, but I hope that they have not worked. Because you find that if you come with a it's B1, B2 visa and you work, because you are not authorized to work when you come with that visitor's visa, you are not authorized to work. You will be in trouble because you have worked. But everybody is free to fill out the green card. Anybody is free to fill out the green card. But you will answer so many questions. You will answer very, very many questions about that. So after you win your green card, when you have lived in the US here, you find that you will not process your green card like you have not lived here. You will have to process your green card here. So if you have extended your time, you will have to explain why you extended your time, because extending time is violating your visa. You don't want to violate your visa. Okay, if you have worked, you will explain why you have worked, because you are not your visa doesn't allow you to work because you are a visitor. And like I said, guys, when you go for your visa interview, what you say there, they write down. See, they write down on a piece of paper and they keep it in a file. So if you win your green card, you have to contact the immigration office next to you so that you can go and process. And then you have to answer the questions that they will ask you accordingly, because they will ask you so many questions, especially if you have not followed their rules. So so that's different, but you can apply. You can do the application. You can do the application. Now, let me see if I have questions here. There's one here in the WhatsApp group who was asking, is it a must you go to the US immediately after you have been given the green card visa? Let me tell you, when you get that visa, your body will be telling you, I want to go to America. That is what it will be telling you. Because this one is saying, how long? Yes, you can say because of finances or whatever. But when we got ours, believe me, guys, when we got ours, we were, oh my goodness, that day we started selling our stuff. We came home at around 11. We were home. We started selling everything. Even by the time we were calling our host the next day, and the host refused to host us, we had started selling our stuff. So the moment you get that visa, guys, you'll just be wanting to come to the US so bad that I don't even know. So but if you want to come after before 6 months are over, it's okay. It's okay for you to do that. Now, about the money, I always say, guys, if you wish to travel anywhere outside Kenya, you have to have savings. You have to have savings. And even if you don't wish to travel, it is good to have savings. Because if you do not have savings, what will you do on a rainy day? What will you do? Because this visa, to process it, it requires a lot of money. Some people have to sell their land for them to raise that money to be able to come, because you are not getting even a shilling from anybody to help you to process it. It's you. So it's advisable for me, even if you get 10 shillings a day, just save 50 cents. If you're getting $1, save a little bit. It's good to save, because that saving is going to help you on that rainy day. Okay. Okay, na kam peke yangu nitarudia familia baadaye. This one is saying they're coming by themselves and they go for the family behind. Yeah, it's okay. It's fine as long as you don't forget your family. Because if you do and they had been given the visa, you will answer that question when you are going to get your citizenship. They will ask you, where is your family? So because you find that you write all the details, and it's you cannot say that you cannot say that anything or lie, because when you're filling out, especially when you're filling out the paperwork for citizenship, you have to write your address and you have to write the people that you live with, so they will know if those person live there or they do not live there. So please make sure that you will go get your family before their visa has expired. Now, if you have a degree from Kenya, can you do degree evaluation via West? Kindly educated. Now, what I said is that this one depends on where you want to go to college. So when you go to college, you will go with all your transcripts, your high school, your degree, or whatever. So you will take them to your college. When you take them to your college, they will refer you. It depends on an individual college, because states are different. We live in different states, and every state has its own laws. Every school has its own laws. So this school, maybe they send their students to this kind of website to go and submit their documents for them to be evaluated. So it depends on the school that you will go to. Because I remember when I went for mine, they told me to submit to a company called Spantran. That's why I submitted my documents, my school documents, and then they evaluate. So where you will go to school is they will let you know. They will give you all the information. What I like about US is that you get all the information. They give you paperwork. They tell you by mouth. They remind you by email. They remind you, like, you have so many reminders that you will not forget. You are not going to forget. And sometimes it becomes difficult, guys, because how you are brought up in Africa is different from the American ways of life. And I'm saying that because I have experienced that. You find that when you come in, there are some places that you will be lost. You'll be like, you'll be like, I forgot to check my email. Maybe you forgot to check your mail. So what you find what happens when you come here is that you have to be looking at your email every day. Like, I had to teach myself to look at my email every day, because something will come up in your email and you will miss it, because your email will be loaded with a lot of stuff. Your mail, your letters, you have to go to your mailbox every day to go and check for your mail, because your bills are going to come in your mail. Important information, even your green card is going to come in that mail. Even when you get whatever, when you get your citizenship, all that stuff will come through the mail. Your passports, everything will come through the mail. So you find that those are the things that you have to keep on checking and checking and checking. And if you are maybe even church, you find that they send you emails. You have all those reminders that you're being reminded through the email. And you find that as in Africa, it's a little bit different. We don't have the mail system. Some of us do not even know. Even you opened your email, but you don't even remember what was your password. You forgot about it. But it's different here. Like, you have to utilize a lot of you have to check a lot of information on those websites. So it will depend. Stella, it's gonna depend on where you wanna go to school, and they will give you that information. Now, let me see if I have another question. Okay. Let me see. So most people here are talking about the passports. They have not got. I hope you guys get your passports on time. Today is the 25th. We have up to the 9th. We have up to the 9th before we fill out the whatever before it ends. And when it ends, it ends. I know there were some people who are saying, I'm going to wait until the last minute and fill out my DV the last minute so that I can win. That last day is going to be very, 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 very jammed, because everybody who goes last minute will be trying to send in their application. And when they're trying to send in their application, it might not go. It might not go. And you guys have to observe time difference. Like right now, here is 12:27 p.m. There are some people, it's 8 something or it's 7 something. So you have to be very, very, very keen on time. Very, very, very keen, because you do not want to be left out. And like I said, this is a lottery that we have applied. It's a lottery. I told you guys, when you apply the lottery, please forget about it. Go back home, continue with your work. Forget about it and go back home and continue with your work. May, you will go and check. Now, you have two expectations. And I have to tell you here that you have two expectations. You will either win or you will not. You will either be selected or you will not be selected. And you have to be prepared for that. So if you're selected, well and good, process. If you're not selected, it's okay. You can try another visa, or if you don't want to try another visa, you can reapply, because every year there's a DV that comes on. But guys, I do not want you to have, like, just be so stressed and like your mind is just focused on there. You don't want to do that, guys. I'm here to champion you and also to tell you the truth, because if I do not tell you the truth, people will be like, I applied, why didn't I win? No, you will be selected. But there are other ways that you can come to the US, and I have talked about those visas that you can apply. You can come as a student. You can come as a visitor. I told you guys, if you have friends in the US, tell them to invite you for their graduations. Graduations happen left and right. You might be lucky you will get it, because I know due to COVID, there are some interviews. If you are coming to visit and there is no like big emergency, those ones have been suspended for a little bit. But if there is a wedding, if there's a graduation, go ask for that. Go ask for a friend or a relative to send you the invitation and go and try. I told you it's easy for someone to send to you, because I have sent to people. When I was graduating, I sent to people. The only thing that they needed to do was go to the American embassy and apply. Of course, that you have to be, oh my goodness, that one, when you're going for the interview, you have to show beyond reasonable doubt that when you go to the US, you will come back. Because the consular, his mind is trained that everybody who is coming there to ask for a visitor's visa, for a whatever visa, they are not going to come back. So you have to show them beyond reasonable doubt that you will go back home. Because if you are not able to prove that, you are not getting any visa, because that is a non-immigrant visa. It is not an immigrant visa. So you have to show them family ties. You have a family, you have a job, you have a home, all that stuff. You have to show them that there is something that you will go back to when you go back home. Otherwise, if you do not prove that, you find that you will be denied. Ruben Karaoke is asking, I used a temporary passport to apply for my wife. Any possibility to go through? Now, I said it's a DV lottery, and it is the computer selects randomly, so anybody can win. It doesn't matter, anybody can win. Charity, I am using my phone to fill the DV, but when it comes to photo in Anishinda, what can I do? My preference, guys, like I told you before, my preference was a laptop or a computer desktop. I don't know if it's because I'm used so much to work on my computer, so my phone gives me trouble. So what you can do, if you have saved, you must have saved. Make sure that you have saved your photo. Your photo is in your email. When it was taken, it is in your email. So make sure that you save it. You can save it on your photos in your whatever, in your phone. The place that has photos, you can save it there. When you save it there, you have to save it on, let me look at the gallery. Yeah, you save it on the gallery. When it's saved on the gallery, when you go to that website, when you click, because it's telling you to upload a photo, you will click there to upload a photo, and then you click on your gallery. Then you can transfer, you can upload it from your gallery to that website. So I don't know if you're able to use that on your phone. But if you are really like having difficulty and you're not able to do that, then I would advise you maybe just to look for a laptop, because you'll just save it on the desktop and then you can access it. But if you have saved your photo in the gallery, you will be able to get it. You will be able to get it, to upload it from your gallery to go to the website. I hope you are able to do that, Eunice. Okay. Now, if you left your family back to get them later, how long is the visa remain valid? It's 6 months. It's 6 months. So, and in 6 months, guys, in 6 months, you will have worked You will have rented your apartment. You will have everything. Actually, it takes, if you come here without a family, because I always do my estimate. I'm like, even how we came and how we were able to do our stuff. So if you come here and immediately you get a job, you can get a job in the second week. If you come, maybe you have come today, tomorrow you go to get your documents. Of course, when you go to get your social, they will tell you to wait maybe for 3 to 7 business days. And then, of course, when you go to get your ID, if you know how to drive, you'll do a driver's test. You'll have to drive with with an officer from the car department. And then if you pass your test, first of all, you have to do a handwritten test, and then you do the driving test. If you pass that one, you get an ID. If you do not know how to drive, it's okay. I didn't know how to drive when I came to the US. I had to go to driving school. If you do not know how to drive, then they will still give you an ID, but you cannot drive. It's not a driver's license, because there's a difference. There's an ID and there's a driver's license. But if you have passed that driving test, your ID is is a driver's license. But if you have not, then it's just an ID. So that ID of yours plus your passport, you can go and look for a job because it is valid. It is valid. And I remember when we went to the social, we asked them, because we really needed for one of us to get a job. So I remember we went like today, and then we went the third day. When we went the third day, it had not been sent by the mail, but I remember that lady, she printed a paper with all the information for a social, and my husband was able to get a job. So you find that you can get a job in the second week or in the third week, the latest. So in the third week, you will count. Every 2 weeks, you are paid. So that's the first salary, the second salary. And then you can look for an apartment. It doesn't matter even if you're going to sleep on the floor. You are starting life. You have to start down. Because you will not, I'm not going to tell you that you will come here and you'll be able to go and buy very expensive things when you come. No, you have to start low. Because you won't have the money unless you have a lot of money in Kenya or in South Africa or wherever you're coming from. If you do not have money, it's okay. You can go. You can even buy air mattresses. There are other mattresses that are called air mattresses. What you need to do is just to blow air on them and you put them on the floor and you leave. Nobody cares here in the US. Nobody is gonna come to look, because you're starting life. You're starting your life at that moment. 28 people are watching me. Thank you for joining. You start from low. You start from low because you do not want to stay with your host forever. No, you want to get out of there. If you do not have a car, look for a job. Look for an apartment in here where you got a job. I've seen people who have come here. They have looked for an apartment next to where they have gotten a job, and they don't have to drive. They just walk to work and then they go back home. You are starting life, guys. Because when you come to the US, you come with so many expectations, and then that's why people fail. But if you are humble enough to start from down there, you start. You can buy those air mattresses, you use them, and you just continue. So you will be able to invite your family. Let's assume you've even bought 2 air mattresses, but you are able to rent a 2-bedroom apartment. At least you know that you have your room, and then you have your kids' room. It doesn't matter whether they come and sleep on those air mattresses. It's okay. You're starting life. And then eventually, as you are going on, then you buy stuff, because when you bring over your wife and your kids, you'll make an arrangement whereby the husband will be working at this time, the wife will be working at this time, so that there can be someone at home to watch the kids, because you have to have someone to watch the kids at home. And then you will start working, you'll do work, within 6 months, you're good to go, If I told you guys that when we started our first apartment, we only had, I think we had 3 sufurias, and we had plates, we had 4 plates, we had 4 spoons, everything we had according to our family members. We didn't start high. No, you have to be humble enough to start low for you to go high. Because you do not want to stay with your host like forever. Don't be hosted for 1 year. Why are you getting hosted for 1 year? Like, I just don't understand why. Because you have papers, you have a job. You cannot, you know what I mean? Like, just come here, start from down. It's US. I'm saying it's US. I'm not saying that whatever, it's USA. But remember, you have to come and start from somewhere, because you're living a life there that you had lived, and you're coming here and you want to be independent. I really love my independence. So when you start down, you're good to go. So 6 months. So I was trying to explain to one's markers. So you have gotten a job, maybe the first month. So the second month or the third month, you're able to get your family here, and you're good to go. So higher, you can get a job without training. Yes, you can. You can. Let's assume you want to go to work in a supermarket. You will just go, show them your paperwork, and you are authorized to work, because they have a website that they check the people who are authorized to work in the US. So they will give you a job in a supermarket. They will train you. They will do orientation. They will train you how to do it. The other jobs are like you have to go and watch the people who are mentally challenged. Some of them, they don't require you to have a CNA. You just, because what you do with those people, you go, you feed them and whatever. What they do, the company itself will train you. And when the company is training you, they are training you and they are paying you. Of course, you'll have to go for that training for like a month or 3 weeks, but it's good, because when you're going for that training in that company, they are paying you for that. You go for 8 hours, and you're still getting paid. You see what I mean? So by the time you start working, during your training, you are being paid, and when you're working, you're being paid. So you can decide, I'm not going to go do CNA and just go to class without without getting money. I'm going to go look for a company that they can train me in their company, and they're still paying me, because they're those companies that do that. So you can do that, and you still get money. So you don't have to stay there. Because for me, I don't understand, because I've seen people being hosted for 1 year. I'm like, really? Why are you being hosted for 1 year and you have a green card? You have to be proactive. So WhatsApp, I'll show you how to go through the photo. Yeah. Please go through the WhatsApp. We have talked about that photo. There's, even when you go to Charities Babu USA, there is that video specifically. It has a yellow thumbnail, and it has someone taking a photo. That one explains step to step about that photo. Okay, now, if someone has the option of being hosted in Massachusetts, oh my goodness, that one is hard. Ohio or Virginia, where would you advise them to go in terms of cost of living? Now, for me, US is US. But for me, if you are hosted there and you see that the cost of living is high, it depends. There are some people who like to live in those like big cities and whatever. And there are some people who like calm. Like me, I like calm and collected. So that's why I love Kansas, because here, there is, US, the way it's built, even if it's New York, even if it's in California, even if it's whatever, the housing, whatever is in the house is the same. Every house, when you're going in, there has to be a cooker, there has to be a dishwasher, and there have to be a microwave. Those are essential. Those ones you will find them. I know there are some other houses that have additional, they have a washing machine or whatever. But even if you don't have a washing machine, it's okay. You can go, there are stores where you can go and wash your clothes, and then you bring them home. So for me, I think Kansas is good. Missouri is good, because those are like, they are not very, very, very very, very expensive. And I'm going to look at others. But you can go there and try. Although another thing, you have to look at the weather. You find that here, sometimes it becomes very cold, and sometimes it becomes very hot. So you have to look at all those factors. You factor in, and you decide, where am I going to live? Because you can go to a state whereby you're being paid a lot of money on wages, and still the cost of living is very high. So you have to decide on where you're going to live. But the best thing for you to think about that is when you're here and you have lived whatever your host was, because what guides you is the host. Because if you found a host in New York, then you will go to New York. If you find a host in Washington, I know Washington, there are so many Africans in Washington. If you find a host in Washington, then you will go to Washington. Then you can try looking. You're like, what is good about Washington? What is good about these states? Because you will have friends in different states, and that is how you learn about where you want to go, because everybody has their own preference. So I wouldn't say that go here or go here. No, it depends on your taste. Great stuff. Charity are tuned in. Yeah, so it doesn't matter. For me, it does not matter. What matters to me is that you have come here with a DV lottery. Yes. You have had your host. Yes. Your host is just a bridge. Then let it be a bridge. 1 month, 2 months, get out of your host's house, go and start your own life. So that there is that respect, there is that respect between you and your host, and that peace and calm is going to remain. Otherwise, if you want to stay with your host for a whole year, oh, you will end up not talking to each other by the time you leave that house. So guys, I think I have answered most of your questions. I'm just going to look at the last minutes. I'm just going to look if there's a question that I have left in my in one of these groups. And if I have not answered any, I am going to go and just try to write to them. And guys, let me try and share with you the WhatsApp link here, because I don't want to forget. Sometimes I forget. It's been 1 hour. Guys, thank you for staying with me. I can see 26 people are watching there. I hope that you have given this video a thumbs up. I said we have Charities Bubble USA group number 2. So what I am going to do is to see if I am able to put this link on one of the comments on that live video, so that if you haven't joined, you can join. I normally answer questions on that live. I do that. And sorry, on that WhatsApp group, I normally answer questions. So so you don't feel lost. So even if I don't come live at that moment, I will be able to see your question and I can answer it for you. I can answer it for you at that time. So let me see if I'm able to put the comment in here. I want to see if I'm able to put the comment here for you guys. No, I'm not able to. Let me go to my desktop. I tell you, technology sometimes really messes me up, but I think I can, or maybe I can do that when I get offline, because I don't want to lose you guys. I'm gonna pin the comment on this video, on this live video, on the other, and then on the other current video. I am going to pin the first comment will be the link for that WhatsApp, because I don't want to mess up this. I always mess up somewhere. You know, I told you guys I am learning about live and whatever. So I'm gonna pin in that one, because we have a second WhatsApp group. And I would like you to, if you are in the first one, it's okay, I will still go there. If you are in the second one, it's okay, I will still go there. So you don't have to be on both of them, because I didn't know what was the capacity, but I saw that it's taking 57 people, and then it's full. So guys, it's been awesome. You guys are awesome. I really love you guys. I wish like we could just meet and we could just, you know, like have a party. But I know that soon I will be coming. I will be going to Africa soon, and I'm gonna notify you guys where I will be, and maybe I can meet some of you. I'd like to meet some of you when I come. So let me see if there's another question before I log out. Okay, everything is there. Machine, washing clothes, dishes, etc. You can be lazy and add a lot of weight. Now, Zippy, you have the washing machine and washing clothes because that's funny. Now, so you have, like, let me give you my example. I work 12 hours. I work a 12-hour shift, right? So, and I work at night. So I have come home and I have kids, and the kids need their clothes to be washed. When will I get time to wash all their clothes? And when will I get time to wash my dishes? No, I will not. What I will do is that I will take their clothes, I will put them in the machine, and they will be washed, because I am doing something else, right? My dishes, after people eat on their dishes, normally you don't take them when they are dirty and you put them in the washer. No, you do not do that. You have to clean them. You have to remove whatever, or if there's leftover food, before you put them in your washer, because you want to make sure even your washer you're keeping it clean. So these machines, they are not there because people are lazy. No, sometimes you won't even have time to wash, to do laundry. You will not, because you are so busy, you don't even know what to do. MDN Media, thank you. I did a collab with this guy, this friend of mine, and he was talking about the cruise ship jobs, and I think we'll do another one with him. So thank you there for joining me. So why those machines are there is to help you to be able to cope with life, because US is going to be different for you. If you want to hire someone to wash your clothes, you will not find anyone that you will afford to pay. That is why that machine is there for you. And if you do not have it in your house, you will have to carry your clothes from your house and go to the store where they wash clothes and wash them there. So these are necessities. They are not there because you will not have time, guys, to do it, because you are so busy. You don't even know, you don't even have a breather. You're sleeping maybe 4 hours because you have a job that you have to do. You have to attend to your children, because here in the US, you cannot ignore your children. You can't. You know the way, you know, when we grew up, I remember when I was growing up, I remember my mom would go to work because my mom was single, and then she would come home, and sometimes we would be sleeping when she's coming home, and then we would wake up early and we would go to school. We would not see her because she's sleeping at that time, and that was our life. Now here in the US, it's a little bit different. One parent has to be there when your kids are going to school, because the kids here, they want you to be kissed goodbye and told to have a good day at school. And if you do not tell them, in the evening, they will tell you, Mom, you did not tell me have a good day. Like, you have to be so much engaged with their children. Kids go for games. You have to go for those games. If they have activities, they are going for a choir or whatever, you have to be involved on all those activities. So you find that you will not have so much time for you to do laundry or whatever. You won't have that time. So that's why that machine is there to help you, to assist you. Now, like right now, I'm doing a live. My laundry is still washing up there, and I'm still doing something. You see what I mean? So it helps you. It makes your life easier when you have a washer in your house now. So have you ever hosted anybody? No, I have not hosted anybody, Anthony Kangede. If you win your green card, maybe I will host you. And why I have not hosted anybody is that I have not had anybody ask me to host them. So I haven't hosted anybody. But what I can tell you guys is that when you are being hosted by a person, just have a conversation and know the expectations for that person. Know the expectations, because you have not lived with that person. You do not know your schedule, because when you come to this side, guys, you will realize that it's totally different. It's totally different. You change everything that you are doing the normal. You have to train yourself to do the American way. So I have never hosted anybody, and I'm looking forward to host someone and see how that goes. Oh, Karibu Sana Africa, thank you for that. Thank you so much, Charity. Hopefully, when you come to Kenya, I will make sure I come to meet you. Yeah, I hope that you'll come. So, how can I get hosts in the US? Guys, I need you to go and watch that video that is there. It's when you open even on your phone. When you open your phone, there's that video about a host. The title is "You Must Have a Talk with Your Host." Now, that video is going to tell you how you will interact with people for you to get a host. It doesn't matter even if you don't know anybody in the US, but go watch that video, Daniel Otieno, and you will find out how you will get a host, because I have explained in detail about a host on that video. Okay, so Ati, I would like to meet you and we laugh and eat mukimo. Yeah, I like African food. Even here in the US, I normally cook African food. I've never warmed up so much to the American food, but my kids, they really don't like African food. I have to force them to eat. So that is good. Kansas, here I come, Karo Mudhoni. So guys, it's been awesome. You guys are awesome. I always, it just fills my heart just to see people listening to what I am saying. So I am going to end this live in 2 minutes. So if you have a question, you type it there, because I am going to end this live in 2 minutes, actually in 1 minute, 45 seconds. And then I will see you on Wednesday. The other live I will do will be on Thursday. On Thursday, I will see on Thursday, but I will make sure that I keep you guys busy with videos, so that we can still learn more about US, because we want to know. You don't want to come here blindly. You want to know, and if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you do not know stuff. So like I said, I am going to pin the WhatsApp link on the first comment of this video and the other current video that is on my website. When you go there, you will see, and I will say, this is the link to join the group 2. And I said, if you're in group 1, there is no need for you to join group 2. You're fine. I will still answer your questions there in group 1. And I said, if it takes time for me to answer, I am saying that, but maybe I'm at work, or maybe I went to work and then I came and slept. So, but when I wake up, I will go back and I will answer your questions. And if I have not answered your question, I always tell you guys, if I haven't answered your question, and you have seen that I have answered a series of questions, always go down there and pin your question there, and I will see it, because I am human and sometimes I can miss a question. So do not feel that that I have ignored you or anything. If you feel like your question hasn't been answered, on below the when I have answered all the questions, just pin your question there, and I am going to be able to answer it. Now, guys, let me see. So guys, until next time, I'll meet you the same time, 11:45 on my time here in the US. And thank you for being with me, and God bless you, and be safe.